Tonight's episode is very chilling. A girl murdered in her apartment. She freezes. Same layout, same outfit, same name. The podcast that predicted her death. The soft glow of Riley's phone illuminated her face as she snuggled deeper into her blankets. It was late, but she couldn't resist one more episode of her favorite true crime podcast. Riley's ears perked up. That was her neighborhood. She pushed away a creeping sense of unease, chalking it up to coincidence. The victim was found in her bedroom, wearing blue and white striped pajamas. Riley glanced down at her own sleepwear, an identical set of stripes. Her heart began to race. The host's voice, usually a comforting presence, took on an eerie tone as he began describing the latest unsolved case. She sat up, her fingers trembling as they hovered over the pause button. Our story tonight takes place in the quiet suburb of Oakwood Heights, the host intoned. The host continued, his words growing more chilling with each detail. The murder occurred at 1352 Maple Street. Riley's blood ran cold. That was her address. This couldn't be happening. The time of death was precisely 2:46 a.m. Riley's eyes darted to her phone's clock. 2:40 a.m., 6 minutes from now? This had to be some sick joke, right? A parallel universe colliding with her own? She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. "Don't worry," she said, her voice a chilling echo of Riley's own. "It'll all be over soon." The host's voice grew somber. And now, dear listeners, we come to the most tragic part of our tale, the victim's name. Riley's mind raced, trying to make sense of what she'd just heard. How could a podcast predict her death? Was she dreaming? Riley held her breath, praying she'd misheard everything up to this point. Was Riley Thompson? The phone slipped from her grasp, clattering to the floor. A floorboard creaked outside her bedroom door. Riley froze, her eyes wide with terror. The handle slowly turned, the door inching open with an agonizing squeak. She scrambled backwards, pressing herself against the headboard as a figure emerged from the darkness. A shadow fell across her bed. Riley wanted to scream, but fear had stolen her voice. The intruder looking in her window stepped into the moonlight streaming through her window. Riley with all her might, her attacker's temple. Riley's breath caught in her throat as she recognized the face. It was her own reflection, but twisted, eyes gleaming with malice. "Hey, Riley," her doppelganger mocked. "I've been waiting for this." Riley's mind reeled. Was this some sort of hallucination? The other Riley raised the knife, its blade glinting in the moonlight. Riley's survival instincts finally kicked in. She lunged for her bedside lamp, hurling it at her attacker. The doppelganger stumbled, momentarily caught off guard. Seizing her chance, Riley bolted for the door. She raced down the stairs, her heart pounding in her ears. The front door was so close, just a few more steps. Riley runs out the door, falls on ground. A hand grabbed her ankle, sending her crashing to the floor and pulls her back inside. Riley kicked and screamed, fighting with every ounce of strength she had left. As she struggled, a distant part of her mind registered the ticking of the living room clock. 2:45, 1 minute left. The doppelganger loomed over her, knife raised high. "Time's up, Riley," she hissed. In a desperate move, Riley grabbed the nearest object, a heavy bookend from the coffee table. The doppelganger crumpled to the floor, the knife clattering harmlessly beside her. Riley scrambled to her feet, gasping for air. 2:46 a.m., she fumbled for her phone, dialing 9.1, one with shaking fingers. As the operator answered, Riley glanced at the clock. She'd survived. The doppelganger's body disappeared before the police arrived, as if it had never existed. Had she truly changed her fate? Or was this just the beginning of something far more sinister? In the days that followed, as police combed through her house and therapists tried to make sense of her experience, Riley couldn't shake the feeling that something fundamental had shifted in her reality. The podcast episode vanished from her phone, leaving no trace. Riley was left with nothing but questions and a lingering sense of dread. As she lay in bed each night, Riley found herself straining to hear the creak of floorboards, the turn of a doorknob. And always she kept one eye on the clock, watching for that fateful time. 2:47 on the moment when death had come calling and she had refused to answer.